I think what you're trying to ask is why am I so insistent upon giving out to them that blackness, that black power, that black pushing them to identify with black culture. I think that's what you're asking. I have no choice over it. In the first place, to me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world, black people. I mean, and I mean that in every sense, outside and inside. And to me, we have a culture that is surpassed by no other civilization, but we don't know anything about it. So again, I think I've said this before in the same interview. I think at some time before, my job is to somehow make them curious enough or persuade them by hook or crook to get more aware of themselves and where they came from and what they are into and what is already there, and just to bring it out. This is what compels me to compel them. And I will do it by whatever means necessary. When I'm finished working, as tired as I am, and my work completely takes all my energy, unfortunately. But when there are kids who come backstage afterwards who want to talk or who are moved to the point, sometimes they're moved to tears, I want to know more about it, and they shake my hand and they kiss me and they want to talk about their problems. I find the time to do so as much as I can. I discourage breakfasts and speeches because I don't make speeches. But I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear. If I could have that half of my life, no fear. Lots of children have no fear. That's the closest way, that's the only way I can describe it. That's not all of it, but it is something to really, really feel.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Shouts out to everybody. I definitely appreciate y'all. I know I haven't been on here like that. Besides with Cassandra, shouts out to my good sister Cassandra Cheek. I definitely appreciate her and all she has been coming through for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely all love for her. But I know I haven't been on here, and I ain't gonna front like today. I ain't gonna get into nothing crazy. But even though I haven't been on here, I see that as Negroes, we've taken I ain't gonna say we still in the same. We've taken, I think, a step back from where the hell we were. And I don't know, it's really sad to see. I'm just curious because now I'm just watching and then I'm going to see what happens next, you know, because, you know, it's the same thing over and over, but I don't know. We just don't seem to understand. We don't seem to learn. In fact, we seem to be regressing. So, I'm just on here for a little while because I don't want to talk about this stuff or argue with Negroes about the stuff that we've been arguing about. So, and I probably ain't going to be on here but so long. So, if anybody does come through, I know I haven't been on here and this is just random, but if anybody does come on here, you're welcome to come on here. But, the thing about it is, like I said, I'll just let this sister speak for me here because I don't know, man. We sitting here arguing about the lesser of two evils. We don't want to be saved. Don't save us. We don't want to be saved. Ain't that some shit? Anyway, speak on it, sister.
For us, we're not going back. You're right. We're not going back. We're not going back to whatever BS Kamala has in hand for us. We're not going back to whatever Donald Trump has in hand for us. We're not going back. I'm not. I'm focused on African American African American building, and that's it. Da-da-da-da. And he knows I love my ancestors, but don't tired. I'm tired of all this bickering, this fighting, and
Wait,
totally over it and done with it.
let me because this sister is articulating what I want to say better than I can.
Current space in politics right now. Why I hate politics, why I am totally over it and done with it. Our people don't do enough reading for me. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of all this bickering, this fighting. And my good friend, I love him to death, go text me and say, Janiyah, if you don't vote, our ancestors work, da-da-da-da. And he knows I love my ancestors, but don't play with me. Our ancestors gave us the right. They gave us the right to choose. We don't have to do everything just because everyone is saying do something. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Or as some people might like to call her Coppola. Cause yeah, baby. Yeah. Little orange Cheeto and Coppola. I've checked out of American politics. Every 4 years, Americans are swept up in a wave of patriotism. Baby, y'all don't care about America for real. Y'all don't care about American people for real. That's why I just shake my head. Y'all head to the polls and act like y'all really doing something by pushing this agenda to play into the government. Fascist government. Election time is a time that we reflect on the long-term effects of government policies this has on our lives. We openly discuss our grievances and we seek out new leadership. During these difficult times, we search for better opportunities. We elect our leaders, and if we are dissatisfied, we complain throughout their term.
I don't know why I should put this music on here.
And do it all over again 4 years later with another candidate. This is what happened. I watched you Negroes gather. Well, I was very young, granted, but I watched the Boondocks. I saw y'all deriding Obama for real. Vote for him because he's black. Vote for him because he's black. Obama is the reason why Libya no longer institutions like the Electoral College that diminishes people because they're not voting at all. It's become a who's more intellectual than the next. And I personally feel like that ain't right. In the midst of this, we should be able to come up with better understandings of things that we could be doing in this community on a local level. Local elections are very important. It literally means nothing. People talk about their votes like it's something to be kept on display. And that's the new age of social media. Everything is to be displayed. Everything is to be talked about. Nothing is no longer personal or private. And that's the sad part about this new day and age with social media. I feel like personally, I would keep to myself who I'm voting for if I was voting. But I'll tell you, I'm not. And it's nobody's business as to why I'm not. It's nobody should disparage me or tear me down because I choose and opt out of voting. You should give me grace just like I'm giving you grace. If you tell me that you want to vote for Kamala because she's an AKA,
we got to save democracy.
I'm not going to disparage you and I'm not going to tear you down, but I'm not voting at all. And for people who have a problem with that, you need to look more within yourself rather than looking over here. I can't stand the fear mongering and aggressive calls to get out the polls. Seeing billions raised overnight for one candidate while schools remain underfunded because the residents can't afford high taxes is unsettling. I wish we'd use this patriotism and motivation to fight for more school choice. Education should be free and based on needs and interests. Black impoverished communities should be rebuilt and funded by their own. The Police Reform Act needs to be enacted. The assassination of a Black person should be considered a hate crime with the maximum penalty. Some may label me a militant leftist, and I can see that. I could see how I may be labeled as a militant leftist.
Yeah, well, anything that's the opposite, they're gonna say you that. If you be like somebody else, they'll be like, "Oh, you are righty." Or trust me, they're gonna say you are a Trump supporter because you said this, even though you understand that there's no lesser of two evils. But some Negroes can't understand the lesser of two evils, or that evil is just evil. Ain't that something?
Because my political my political views align closely with our fallen leaders. Malcolm X, Huey, be a very militant and aggressive group. We're actually the first group of people to give free lunch. California, they were such a militant and aggressive group. There's nothing militant or aggressive about that. It's the money behind this. And everything they did it with intent to help their own. There's nothing militant or aggressive about that. If that's the label I'm giving, I'll take it. So with that being said, you could probably guess I'm not impressed with what's being thrown at us. I'm not impressed with the presidential politics or neither of their policies. This is why we were giving Juneteenth.
All right. So yeah, she broke it down because why are y'all still sitting here arguing about the lesser of two evils? But anyway, to keep it moving, because I'm not talking about that. I'm not getting swept up in arguing with y'all no more about this stuff. We've been there last time, because last time we was talking about that, and they was like, oh, we was talking about Trump, and they said, oh, you're a Democrat? You're a Democrat? No. And this time they were like, oh, you're a Republican? You're a Republican? We get it. It's the same old talking points. It's just old at this point. You know, I just didn't have the energy to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But for those of you who do, go ahead and take your couple of steps back, and we'll see what happens after that. But anyway, I guess it's some funny stuff that been happening while I was going that I probably would have showed. So I'm just gonna be on here for a little while. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all. Now I don't know if y'all saw this. You know, they was talking about all them sundown towns that got flooded out. That's interesting, right? And you know me, I would have did this. But I'll play this one.
Happy that all of these southern states and towns are getting their homes washed away, their children, their parents, their animals, their whole entire lives washed away. All praise to the Most High.
All these sundown towns, I want God to destroy them. All of them. I want him to drown them people. I don't care, man.
Damn, my bad, y'all. I know y'all praying for y'all white friends.
Black man, hang up. Really? Did you really think, North Carolina, that you were going to hang a black man, say that he committed suicide and get away with that shit? Fuck no. You know, that's why God sent Helene, flooded out all that shit. Yeah, look, man, all these sundown towns, I want God to destroy them. All of them. I want him to drown them people. I don't care, man. I don't give a
Well, they say if you're going to pray, the only real prayer is one of gratitude. All right, so at least the brother is asking for something and is grateful.
Fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. All sundown towns. Look. I'm asking for it. I'm asking for the destruction of sundown towns. But y'all thought y'all was going to hang people and that it was just going, no, not my God. Not my God.
Sundown town.
Yeah, I want my God to come up in there and destroy all that shit.
Well, to be fair, it depends on which God, because some of them did let the shit go down now. Let's not act like that didn't happen.
Tell y'all something out.
Sure. But I feel like Hurricane Helene was doing God work. Because all those towns that got destroyed in North Carolina, guess who lived in them towns? Lord knows.
All right. So before we continue, let me just say, I am a brown-skinned, melanated girl that survived Katrina and lost everything in floodwater. Okay,
y'all remember Katrina?
Let's get that straight.
The hurricane only hit all sundown towns all across the South. Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida, all them sundown towns, God came through and wiped out the whole city.
Well, it took long enough. All right, my bad.
And remember now, we got 3 more hurricanes coming next week.
It took long
hit
enough now.
a bunch of sundown towns. I don't know. You tell me. Y'all tell me. But it seemed like a lot of the places where it hit, and it didn't even hit none of the places it was really supposed to hit the hardest. It hit a bunch of the sundown towns up there in North Carolina and Tennessee. Now, I'm not wishing bad on them, but I'm just saying, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what's going on.
Well, why wouldn't you be? Never mind. I forgot. You gotta save democracy. Anyway. And so apparently, you know, that's not the right mindset to have, right? So they're mad that black people ain't helping these fools. Y'all remember Katrina, right?
Why the am I seeing people praising all these people dying, all these towns gone because they think it's sundown town?
I just don't understand why
It's American town, so it's sundown.
people are talking like this and going on like this. This is disgusting behavior, and you should be ashamed of yourself. It's disgusting.
Uncle Wolfie here. Why the seeing people praising all these people dying, all these towns gone because they think it's sundown towns? I am an anthropology major, and I am going to spend the next few years proving that these sundown towns do not work in the capacity that they used to. I am
what year did it stop? What, 2008 or something? What year did they stop being able to work to the capacity that they're supposed to be able to work? Right? Because apparently you should tell those crackers and the Negroes who's fighting the crackers from breaking apart from their cities that it doesn't work, you know. But anyway.
From Vidor, Texas.
What up, my brother Anthony?
I lived there, grew up there, still have family there. Here's their logo. And I have every different shade of wheat in my family. Prepare to see a book in a few years because this pisses me off. These towns are not like they were 40 years ago whatsoever. I was 10 minutes down the road.
By the way, like 40 years ago was like 1995 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's talking about. But no, they haven't changed since 1995.
From Jasper, Texas, when that man got dragged down the road. These are just Americans at this point. Most of those people who were super and overly racist have died off. These are just Americans.
Okay, so 1984 is when things stopped being... No, that's when they opened privatized prisons, in fact, in 1984, so...
Stop saying dumb shit! Uncle Wolfie out.
Yeah, we heard about them. And lots of people died in those, lost their homes, lost everything, and businesses, and they're struggling, and pets are missing, and people are missing, and you're disgusting. Very, very disgusting. I just don't understand why people are talking like this and going on like this. This is disgusting behavior, and you should be ashamed of yourself. It's disgusting. It's nasty behavior. People should not act like this. Grow up.
You should go help those rednecks that's been lynching you for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? No, grow up. Now we're suffering. Good.
God did not pick these people to
specifically chose the fools.
Send a hurricane to hurt. I have friends down there.
It was only 700 years late, but specifically chose them fools.
Luckily, they're okay, but you people are just absolutely disgusting that are talking this way. Have the day you deserve.
Oh yeah, it's been a great day. That's the one I deserved. It's been awesome.
So y'all. Every single motherfucker. I can't believe how many people are making videos like this. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. And when I say y'all, I mean black, white, or otherwise. Anybody who would have this kind of take during something so catastrophic happening. People have lost their lives, loved ones. Children have died. There's hundreds of people still missing and unaccounted for. And y'all want to use it for a gotcha moment and claim they're all motherfucking sundown towns and that they some...
You know what I think? You remember how Hurricane Katrina, how they kept them rifles to keep them in their place, to keep them from coming out? Maybe just maybe, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of black folk, as those wouldn't be Negroes, that'd be at least black folk, should go down there and make sure that they stay within those borders of the sundown. You know, that's just the way that I've learned how you're supposed to handle stuff after a hurricane, right? Let them drown, you know what I'm saying? Make sure they go back into the water with your shotguns.
Somehow, like, trying to insinuate that they brought it on themselves. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Are you kidding me? Never have I ever wanted to be able to have the ability to go through a
Liberty Mutual customized.
By the way, she's not going to do but cry and call the police probably.
Never have I ever wanted to be able to have.
They are telling us that.
All right. See any more tears here?
And now that
no.
us.
And then the other side, we're all humans. We are all born the same.
I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you understand, and I'm also here to point you in the direction of repentance. Best not to interrupt any ears. Anyway, here we go, family.
The hell. Okay. But to sit there and say some of the garbage some of these people are saying, the hate in their heart, really.
It's actually love. We love ourselves. It's actually love that we have in our. We love ourselves so much that anybody who comes against us needs to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Because we control our own destiny. Because we love ourselves that much.
Because when it comes down to it, we are all Americans. We are all humans. We are all born the same way.
Now, what type of human? And does that make you the same? I would argue no. I would argue no.
With red blood running through our veins. You know? There are radicals on both sides. One side wants to kill children all the way up until birth. Okay? There are people like that on that side. It's disgusting. They want to literally children.
You're talking about some both sides.
And then the other side doesn't think it's okay to take a 10-year-old girl who has been raped by a grown man. They think it's okay for her to have a child. That's not okay. Okay? So stop, people. There's radicals on both sides. Okay?
It's always both sides when you start smacking them back in the damn mouth, ain't it? Or just showing that same type of energy to them. But anyway, so let's just get a little bit of education about what exactly is these sundown towns.
Yo, let me tell y'all as quickly as I can about my night in a sundown town. Excuse me. Yes, I said that correctly. A sundown town. 2022, a sundown town. For those who don't know what a sundown town is, look it up on Google. But anyway, so I get a load going to a particular city in Texas, and I'm like, okay, well, let me head on over here and drop this off. They're gonna pay me this much. That's perfect. I like that. It's a quick 200 miles, make it quick. You know, whatever the amount was, great, cool. I get there and I look at the exit. I'm like, wait a minute. It took me to exit 861A. For those who don't know, it's a place called Vidor, Texas, Vidor, Vidor.
Yeah, and I heard earlier sisters like saying like, oh yeah, I would feel safer if I go to Dallas, like around white folk than I would around black people. But what would you feel safe if you go to Vidor, Texas after night? Probably so with this person and with a lot of us. So it's not just her. It's damn shame.
I'm like, uh-oh, I've heard stories, like pretty much everybody I know in Texas that's black tells me, do not go to Vidor, Texas. I'm like, okay. Yet here I was in Vidor, Texas. My load didn't deliver until this morning. This is from the perspective of yesterday. Didn't deliver until tomorrow at 8. It was like 5:30. So I get to the place. I'm not giving names of companies.
All right. I know what a damn sundown town is. But now, speaking of this, now you have this brother here. Let me see. I'll go with this one. And I understand this, you know.
There's a rhythm in the market.
And then a lot of us don't understand time and space, you know what I'm saying? Time and score. You got to protect yourself out here. And I get it. Sometimes that is hard to do. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Vidor, Texas. I'm going to say it again like Dr. Umar. Do not go to Vidor, Texas. See, I'm going to talk to the rookies. These trucking companies do not care about your feelings, and they don't care about your safety. I don't care how many safety meetings they have. They don't care about your safety. They care about their money, and they care about their truck. That's it. Your safety does not matter, especially when you black, because guess what? They're going to put somebody else in that truck.
And also, you should also know that GPS don't give a damn that you're a Negro either, because it goes off of the... You know how they used to have the green book back in the day to know when and where you can and can't go, right? And the illusion is that went away, right? Because now we acting like that is still not the case, you know what I'm saying? Even when they get wiped off the map, you know what I'm saying? But this is why they should probably be wiped off the map.
When you are unalive in their truck, all they're going to do is put somebody else in it and keep running. They will not think about you.
Don't give up.
So you have to think about you when you're on this road. When they tell you, oh, you can't have a gun on you in a truck.
Yo, because I do this all the time. I got that from the Wayans Brothers show when Marlon used to do the point at your face thing. But listen to what he said one more time.
Put somebody else in it and keep running. They will not think about you. So you have to think about you when you're on this road. When they tell you, oh, you can't have a gun on you in a truck, we ain't going for that. And if they ever try to send you to Vidor, Texas, refuse the load. I don't care how much they paying you. If they paying you $3,000, they paying you $2,000. Refuse the load. I don't care if the load delivering in the morning time. Refuse the load. This is one of the worst sundown towns. Vidor was incorporated in 1960. Vidor had a reputation as a sundown town where African Americans are not allowed after sunset. 97.3%.
And I'll tell you what, we'll be talking the right thing when we start talking about sun up towns, right? You know, if you catch my drift, you know, in more ways than one, because they can't really come outside with the sun like that, you know, to blow up every sun tan company factory that creates suntan lotion, blow all that shit up.
Caucasian people, 0.1% is African American people. See, look, this is what I do. I'm gonna tell y'all what I do when they try to give me a load somewhere. This is what I do.
Who is that 0.1%?
Anywhere they send me, let's say they send me to like Milwaukee or something, or they send me to Wisconsin. I just Google the town that they sending me to, and I look up the race, you know, the ratio to black people. And if it's not making sense, I'm not staying there. I know that's bad that we have to do that, but you have to do what you have to do because it's 2024 and we still have black people being unalive by ropes in the woods. Anywhere they send you, I want you to Google it to make sure, okay, my time run out. Can I stay here? Can I stay at their warehouse? Can I stay at this small truck stop? I want you.
And yo, he ain't lying because like yo, I be hearing stories. Or I heard stories that you know, you're supposed to do a walk around. You got to do that every time anyway. But if you're a black person and surrounded by them, they like to like pull your pin. They don't give a damn if you kill somebody out there. They will do anything to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? To hurt you even. Like they will pull your pin, like meaning like the trailer will fall off when you on the highway. They'll do all type of stuff to your load. They'll cut the lock on the back so when you deliver it, they won't accept it. You know what I'm saying? You got to take every single precaution, not just at the end, you know what I'm saying, for everyone. And if you ain't even aware of your surroundings, and this is normal life for real, like this is every job, you should understand this, not just truck drivers. But anyway,
to Google it, and anytime you see if it's over 70% of them, I say don't do it. I say go to a major truck stop, because like I said earlier, you gotta remember, they don't care about your safety. These companies don't care about your safety. They care about their money, and they care about the safety of their truck. That's it. They don't care about you. So you all, man, I don't care nobody say. When it gets to half, fill it back up. They go put somebody else in their truck. They go keep on moving. I'm gonna talk to my Chicago truck drivers. Look, Chicago truck drivers. When y'all see,
and his brother was born in 1992.
Talk to my Chicago truck drivers. Look, Chicago truck drivers. When y'all come down south, you can't be lollygagging and thinking everything cool, speaking to people. It don't work like that. I know they say the South is warm and the South is nice people, but bruh, it gets wicked. Yeah, they're gonna be nice to you, but they lining you up the whole time. You get lined up the whole time. Even Caucasian people do it, especially in these sundown towns. So when they send you to these small towns that you never heard of, a person that they said did it to themselves. The article started off like that. I saw no investigation.
Now, this brother, Evan Bryant, right? They found him hanging on a tree, who was a truck driver, right? And the first thing they said is mental health issues, and it was a suicide, you know what I'm saying? But this happened out there in Vidal Tech, one of them sundown towns.
It's like Javion, just like every black person that they said did it to themselves. The article started off like that. I saw no investigation. And even the family said, oh, he must have did it to himself because his grandfather recently passed away and he couldn't live with himself. What?
Right, what?
Look, bro, I'm gonna be honest.
My grandfather passed away, so I can't. Yeah, I'm sad, but you know that's your grandfather, not even your little brother or somebody, your son or something. Your grandfather passed away and he wanted to kill himself. Was no investigation.
He passed away and he couldn't live with himself. What? Look, bro, I'm gonna be honest. As black men, our grandfather, our grandmother can pass away, but I promise you, we will not unalive ourselves because we going through it. That's the last thing we gonna do. We gonna live with that pain. I saw no investigation. I saw no company he drove for. The family just went with this story, and I'm like, wait. Something not right. So I kept reading, and his aunt said that his grandfather had passed away, which was her father. And then I saw on the video they had a therapist speaking. I'm like, wait, why they got a therapist speaking and they don't know what happened? So then I started reading. Her name was Trina Rose Fraser, and she lives just a few miles from that sundown town. The S-word thoughts and feelings are a sign of vulnerability, something black men are largely uncomfortable with showing in a part because of their past. Healing begins with opening up to professionals like Fraser. I'm gonna tell you something. They paid this therapist to get on the news and say that. They specifically paid a black therapist, a woman at that, to get on here and say that so she can calm the people down, so people don't think. See, they don't want you to think, and they so strategic with this. They paid a black therapist to come on here and say it's black men's fault.
And the black therapist took the money. And it ain't even about a woman, or because we know that coonism transcends gender.
Because black men got mental issues. Black men going through things. I'm like, wait, what? This don't make sense. Y'all did no investigation. How y'all just gonna say he did it to himself? So to all my truck drivers, this is what you gotta look out for. Even when something happened to you, people don't really care like that.
Especially when something happens to you, it's to be made money off of. Don't you get it? Your blood, your life is to be made money from.
If you're on the road, if you don't know whether to bring your gun or not, just always remember, you gotta care about you. Because even when you gone, people gonna come up with stuff. And then I kept reading. The therapist said, when you compare our black men to their counterparts, so Hispanic males and non-Hispanic males and Caucasian males, again, they show up at the bottom of the list when it comes to how much they're actually willing to report what they're dealing with, said Fraser. A lot of our black men are suppressing their issues until they explode. What? And see, to everybody who think they know black men, you don't know us. See, we can't be finessed by your fake ass therapists. And especially as truckers, we gonna find people to talk to. We got people to call for days, man. We on the road. We can just call somebody and talk to them. We're not gonna unalive ourselves. And as black men, they will never unalive themselves in a different state. They will go home and do it. And then for one thing, we will not use a rope. That's one thing we not doing. We ain't using no rope to unalive ourselves. We not doing it for the most part. That's the last thing we gonna do. And she said that black men are the least to report what they're going through. And then I read this. White men are accounted for 68.46% of the S word, the unalivers in 2022. So if we at the bottom and not reporting, who's reporting the most? Why are they being unalived the most if they still report it? Because it don't work. We are men. We don't express our feelings through words and stuff like that. For the most part, bro, I'm gonna tell you the truth. For black men, we gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. Either we go drink it away sometimes, we gonna smoke it away sometimes, either we gonna work it out. It may be not healthy, but we gonna figure it out. We gonna learn our lesson. We gonna actually go through the fire. The way we learn stuff by men is going through the fire. And yeah, we might have an old lady we talk to and we tell her everything we going through and she listens. That's what we need. We don't have to pay nobody. See, they want you to pay people to talk about your problems, or they want you to vent to everybody so they can just throw it in your face. No, my advice for my new truck drivers, or for truck drivers who've been trucking, if you got an old lady you trust, cool.
All right. And so, RP to that brother Evan Bryant, you know, and then this is another brother here, Jacob Lindsay, Jacoby Lindsay. I'm sorry. You know, we got this brother.
Does not know how to put a rope around their neck. The teenager, Jacoby Lindsay, 18 years of age, out in Mississippi. He was found.
All right, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna let it play, but I gotta walk away for a second. So hold up, y'all. But I'm still here.
Hanging from a tree with a rope around his neck next to his guardian's house. Now, this is something that we know he didn't do to himself. An 18-year-old black child does not know how to put a rope around their neck and go to a tree. His grandparents, his family who loves him, they know that he didn't do this as well, and they're seeking justice for Jacoby Lindsay. Now, just a recap, Jacoby Lindsay was placed in a system about 11 years ago by his mother. I believe his siblings were as well. And when they were placed in the system, their grandparents fought hard to get them, okay? They do have a family that cares about them, but they were constantly blocked by the white community out there in this area in Mississippi. They were lied to, they were cut off. These people created roadblocks and obstacles so that they couldn't be with their grandchildren. Now, when Jacoby went into the system, he lived at a place called Homes of Hope. Okay, now this place called Homes of Hope or Homes for Hope is supposed to be a place that gives children who don't have parents or who are wards of the state a chance at life. They promote themselves or their organization as a clean, healthy, Christian atmosphere for children, you know, giving them mental health and everything like that, just everything they need to live as close to normal as possible. But it was soon found out that this place, Homes of Hope, was just a money grab, a place that was operated by a bunch of delusional Mississippi white hillbillies, drug addicts, and sex deviants, and it needs to be shut down, okay? Now, this place, Homes for Hope, and these dysfunctional white tyrants who ran this place and their friends are the people who are responsible for the death of Jacoby Lindsay. Jacoby Lindsay's grandparents who were trying to get him and his siblings made it very clear that the system had failed them. The system failed Jacoby Lindsay, and due to that, this led to what ultimately happened with Jacoby Lindsay, okay? Now, I'm getting my information from a Facebook page created by his family called Justice for Jacoby Lindsay, and I actually respected whoever's on the page doing the writing. You could tell these people know how to write, they know how to spell well, they're not playing around, they're not playing games. I've seen other pages dedicated to, Black people who were brutalized and things have happened to them like this in the past. And I know that on these pages, there was a lot of okey doke, a lot of playing around, a lot of, playing with white folks and stuff like that, going back and forth. But I could tell that these people are not playing. So you go check that out. I think you should go check that out. Justice for Jacoby Lindsay on Facebook. Now, his grandfather, brother by the name of Anthony Bowie, his grandfather, I'm reading what he said, okay? This is from Facebook. He said, a system that failed, the loss of our grandchild might still be alive today if the system hadn't failed him. From the moment we tried to reunite with our grandchildren, Homes of Hope stood in the way. Despite our efforts to connect with them, the system blocked us at every turn. Then the person overseeing it all was arrested, a moment of validation for us, but still no progress, okay? He said, we fought to reconnect with our grandchildren, but again, they kept us away. Instead of placing Kobe with us, that's Jacoby Lindsay, their grandson, okay, who was just recently lynched. His family, they sent him to people who had no business caring for him. They made it impossible for us to reach him, talk to him, or to provide the love and support needed. And in the midst of all this, they had the audacity to pretend to care, calling us with apologies, saying that they knew how much we loved our grandchildren and how they would have been better off with us. Even our own lawyer, who we hired to fight for custody, failed us. He didn't do his due diligence, leaving us in the hands of a broken system. We live in Texas, and we trusted a pastor, judges, and a legal system that did nothing but protect themselves. They are responsible. Every attorney, every CPS worker, everyone involved with Homes of Hope, for the death of our grandchild. I hope this leads to Homes of Hope for children being shut down once and for all. And I do too. I'm not from that area. I'm not from Mississippi, but shut this place down. Shut this place down, okay? Now, people, as we covered in the previous video and other people have covered, Jacoby, again, was found hanging from a tree with a rope around his neck, 18 years of age. Now, I'm reading some more things that his family said about this situation that took place that look very sketchy. Okay, this is what his family says. If you're hanging, you should be dangling. Question about Kobe's death. Today, our family received not only information, but also a picture showing Kobe hanging from a tree. But there are disturbing details that don't add up. Why are Kobe's knees bent, arms crossed, and feet crossed? If someone hangs themselves, they should be dangling. This is a direct message to the Forest County Coroner's Office, the police department, and the sheriff's department. Do not label this a suicide. You can't have someone in this position with rigor mortis setting in and claim they hung themselves. Okay? That's their message to these cowards who are trying to call this a suicide instead of doing an in-depth investigation. Why don't they want to? Because they know what happened. These people are all in together. Something else that's kind of interesting about this people, I noticed that this black police chief in this town out here and the white sheriff, they have the same last name. I wonder if this is some kind of, family plantation connection. Remember, people, these people are all connected. You're not getting these positions unless you are in deep with some sinister white folks. And, that's just the way it is, y'all. That's
right. And you heard what is, and I didn't see this one, but I did want to, because they was like, his family was talking a message from the Sonic Department. And the brother mentioned it a little bit because they said his thing was a suicide as well.
Marks 1 week since this man, 21-year-old Javion McGee, was found dead at the base of a tree with a rope around his neck.
This was in the Henderson area in northern North Carolina. And over the past week, investigators have been trying to put together a timeline of the night he died. Today, the McGee family held a news conference pushing for transparency in the investigation.
2 days ago, police released this video showing McGee buying rope at Walmart the night before he died. McGee was a truck driver, like his father. A spokesperson for the family says the rope is simply a part of trucking equipment used for the loads they carry. Based on the way McGee died, McGee's family, they're not convinced that he died by suicide. Now, that belief has been supported by many in Vance County. At the news conference today, people protested for swift and truthful answers, some pointing out the similarities between McGee's death and the 1955 murder of 14-year-old Emmett Till. McGee's father thanked the public for its support in the wake of his son's death.
Or the 2024 death of the other truck driver, brother.
I appreciate, everybody just swiftly supported, and that helped us, to keep us up in our spirits. Nobody out here wanted to hear this kind of news. Nobody, white, black, any nationality want to hear this kind of news in 2024.
Why do we always got a white, black, Puerto Rican, polka dot? There's got to make up a one that don't exist too, that would love us, pretend like that love us.
Figured we was done with this.
Now, the Vance County Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate, and it's asking anyone with information to come forward.
Man. Yo, shouts out to his brother, Jacoby Lindsay. I'm going to just keep going, right? Because then you have another brother here, you know what I'm saying? This is another brother in Alabama, you know what I'm saying? Who they also call a suicide. All right, so.
Cook, Warrior Princess, for inspiring this video. And people, we're going to the state of Alabama. This just happened last month, 2024, September to be exact. Sad story. It's about a brother by the name of Denoris Richardson, black man, 38 years of age. He was found hanging from a rope inside a carport on September 28th of 2024, okay? Last month. Now, after this happened, of course, the white community, the Alabama Department of Forensic Science is immediately saying that this is a suicide, but his family says no. His wife, Leanne, is saying, no, this is not a suicide. His mother, people who care about him, they're like, no, he would never do this to himself. This is not the case. Now, they said that there's no way that he went to this place that he's unfamiliar with and put a rope around his neck. They said, nah, this is not real. This is not, he didn't do this to himself. The family is not believing it. They're saying that this is definitely foul play. And first off, we know that black people don't go out to carports or trees and places like that and put ropes around our neck and hang ourselves. We don't do that. They found this man on the Alabama Mississippi line, a place where his family said he doesn't go. He's not familiar with that area. Why would he be there? Now, the interesting part about this here is his family is saying, well, look, he just filed a police brutality lawsuit against the Sheffield, Alabama Police Department. Okay? He just filed a lawsuit against them. He's been harassed by this police department his entire life. And this is not uncommon for a lot of black people to be harassed by a police department their entire life, from the age of 10 all the way up to adulthood, especially if they stay in that same town. They know the officers there. The officers then have children there. You know, their sons come out, they pass the torch. These guys go out and harass people in the town. That's what goes on. So he finally got tired of it, Denoris Richardson, and he filed a lawsuit against his police department. And his family is believing that there's a good chance that this may have something to do with him being found with a rope around his neck in a carport. Now, this brother, Denoris, he was arrested just recently, not too long ago, for drugs. And when he was arrested for drugs, he had already filed this lawsuit against this police department. And they told him that if you drop the lawsuit, we'll drop this drug charge. Now, I don't know the situation with the drugs. I don't know if he used drugs, if he sold them, or even if these police officers planted them on him. I mean, a lot of them use drugs as well, okay, and have issues. So I don't know. But he wasn't going to drop the suit. And so being that he didn't drop the suit, they took him in and they really brutalized him back in January. I mean, brutalized him, took him to the jail, tased him, beat him down, did him dirty. He tried to call for 911 to get help. They wouldn't let him, took him in, and they just, did their thing. Brutalized this brother, okay? And now he's found with a rope around his neck, people. His family says that he dealt with systemic racism, systemic harassment from this police department his entire life. And now he files a suit against them not long after he's found in a carport on the Alabama-Mississippi line, an unfamiliar area, with a rope around his neck. His family's like, no, They were trying to get him to drop that suit. He told them no. Okay? This is how it goes down, people. His family believes that they arrested him. The last time they arrested him, that was an intimidation tactic in order to get him to withdraw his lawsuit, but he wasn't doing it. So people, on September 26th, just last month, less than a month ago, he was reported missing. 2 days later, Denores Richardson was found dead, hanging by a rope on a porch in an abandoned home near the Mississippi-Alabama line, where his family says he's got no business there. He doesn't go there, okay? Hanging by a rope in a carport, on a porch, abandoned house. And of course, the Colbert County District Attorney's Office, they said that this is definitely a suicide, okay? They tried to say that he was having depression, he was depressed, he was having issues. The Colbert County Sheriff's Department, they tried to say that his family has said that he was depressed and having issues. That's what they do, people. He was about to turn in and possibly do a couple years for some old charges or whatever. You know, I don't know the full extent of that, but he had already accepted that. He had actually talked to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and they were going to make sure that he did his time in a place that was closer to home as opposed to being sent away. So he was already, you know, about to do his thing and go in and whatever. It wasn't like this was stressing him out. He had already accepted that. His mother, Bonita Richardson, said, "My son was joyful. He didn't have any mental issues. He would never kill himself. He would not hurt himself." She said that he was really in fear of his life, and she believes that this is a homicide. His family is currently waiting for the results of a private autopsy, and this could take months. He has a lawyer, and meanwhile, there was a motion filed by his lawyer that requests the body camera footage and jail surveillance footage from when he was recently arrested, okay? When they brutalized him. They want that footage. His family's attorney, his attorney is requesting this jail surveillance footage from these incidents prior to his death. And in his lawsuit, people, in his civil suit, he named Sheriff Police Department officers Brett Evans, Darian Fountain, Billy Hall, Seneca Butcher, and former officer Max Dotson as defendants. Now, this guy, Max Dotson, he was fired after being convicted of another assault of a black man while on duty. This guy is a straight up alcoholic. You can see him here. He's locked up in jail, looking stupid. These are race soldiers, people. These are thugs with badges on the streets. This is what they do in these type of places. This is what they do nationwide, but they get away with it a little more in these small towns. This guy right here, Max Dotson, a sleazeball. Brett Evans, Darian Fountain, Billy Hall, Seneca Butcher, all named in his lawsuit. Okay? But people, they're doing what they want to do. But check this out. The story gets even deeper. There's a 53-year-old black man who's suing these officers as well because one of these officers ordered their police dog to attack him. He filed a federal lawsuit against them. And some of these same officers are named in his suit as well. It said body camera footage of the incident between police and Marvin Long went viral last month. Long was an unarmed man. He had committed no crime, okay? He asked the officers to leave his property, but officers wrestled him to the ground and ordered their dog to attack him. As he called for help, he laid on the ground screaming, asking for help. They're yelling, bite him, get him, good, coaching the dog on. I did a video, go check it out, people, on racist police dogs. This is what they did to this brother, Marvin Long. And in this lawsuit, 3 officers with the Sheffield Police Department, Lieutenant Max Dotson, Brett Evans, Darian Fountain, and 7 other deputies with the Colbert County Sheriff's Office were named. Now, people, one of these deputies is a guy with the Sheffield Police Department, the Sergeant Nick Reisner. He's the one who ordered the dog attack. But he's no longer in the lawsuit because he was shot. He got pushed in the line of duty. on October 2nd of 2021, he was killed by one of his own peoples. Yeah. So this is the guy right here from the Sheffield Police Department, Nick Reisner, who was sicking his dog on this black man and ordering this dog as the other one stood around. Some of these other names who are also named again in his brother Denoris Richardson's civil suit. Brett Evans, Darian Fountain, Max Dotson. One of them fired. Nick Reisner, he got pushed up out of here. One of his white brothers in the community killed him, okay? They killed the two-legged dog. They should have killed the four-legged dog as well. Get him up out of here. This is why people don't get upset when they see folded flags and mourning bands and stuff like that and bagpipes playing because of people like Nick Reisner. He's just out here sicking his dog on an innocent black man, telling him, get him, and he got his beak blown off not too long after that. Get him up out of here. The rest of them can get that as well. You see, these are the things that happen. Another one of them, fired. Fired. For what? Because he's out brutalizing another black man. He's an alcoholic, DUIs. But people, what do you think about this? These officers are all getting caught. These thugs out here in this community doing whatever they want to do. Do you believe that they have something to do with this, what I'm calling it a lynching of his brother Denoris Richardson? This man had no issues. He already accepted his fate. He was about to go to jail for a couple years. He knew he had to do this time. He wanted to do his time closer to the family. He had talked to the Bureau of Prisons to work this out. Lawsuit pending with, with this police department who was harassing him, said he was a happy person. What do y'all think about this? I don't think black people go to these places on a borderline of Alabama and Mississippi and hang themselves with a rope. I believe it's family. People, what do you think? Get in the comments. But condolences to this brother, Denoris Richardson. People, it's wild, y'all. The other story in North Carolina is still hot, people. These police officers out here did this to this young trucker. This is, people, I don't know what to say, y'all. I don't know what to say. Stop playing, though. Stop playing and stop focusing on too much stupidity. I know it's all.
Oh, yeah, my bad, and this, just another brother out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just keep going on and on, you know what I'm saying? Then you even had a young brother here.
Not keep losing our brothers, our sisters, our children, or our grandchildren for
of this story. Let's take a look.
More tonight about a death investigation in Hattiesburg after a body was found near Timms Elementary earlier today. We're told an 18-year-old male was found dead near the intersection of Jamestown Road and Hillendale.
Okay. This is the other brother that we was just talking about. Okay, so yeah. And then it's not only that, it's the schools, and now they got the substitute teachers reenacting the George Floyd, because they got some kind of, and get their rocks off with this George Floyd thing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find it. I guess this one.
Some serious allegations tonight against a substitute teacher. According to Woodbury High School students, the teacher twisted a student's arm behind their back, spoke about a bar fight, and reenacted the police actions that led to the murder of George Floyd with a student. Lou Raguse is here with more details on this story. Lou?
Rena, this substitute teacher is also a police officer in Prescott, Wisconsin. And according to a letter from the South Washington County Schools to families,
this teacher is also a cop who's practicing the reenacting George Floyd's death on kids.
The sub told them he thought students would want to hear about his life as an officer. But after getting student complaints, the principal pulled him out of the classroom mid-period. A Woodbury High School student tells KARE 11 News these photos show a substitute teacher demonstrating the same hold Derek Chauvin used on George Floyd. The context, according to students, is that the teacher was claiming the restraint did not cause Floyd's death. In a letter to families, the South Washington County School District placed that reenactment at the top of a list of 11 complaints made about the sub, who is also a police officer in western Wisconsin. Students also reported that the man twisted a student's arm behind the student's back and showed pressure points on the chin and face, invaded students' space and mimicked holding up a gun and pointing it at students, and that he spoke in disturbing detail about dead bodies he had seen and shared explicit details about 2 sexual assault cases he investigated.
So inappropriate and in so many different ways.
Superintendent Julie Nielsen spoke with Kathy Werzer on NPR News.
I'm wondering, could some of the students have misconstrued what was happening in any way? Is there video of these incidents?
There are videos of the incidents, and there are also audio recordings of the incidents and the behaviors that occurred in the classroom on Monday.
After the principal removed the substitute teacher from the school, they asked Woodbury police to trespass him so he can't come back. Teachers on call, the placement service that employed the sub, said in a statement that he no longer works there, saying, quote, "We have a zero tolerance policy for any form of violent, aggressive, or harmful behavior." Late this afternoon, the Prescott police chief told me he put this officer on administrative leave while the incident is being investigated. He says the allegations, if true, are very...
So, you sending your children to that school, but then even, this is in Canada, this is crazy because this white bitch then threw boiling water on his little boy.
Everybody supports you. Words Marie-Etienne has been repeating to her 10-year-old son, his face and body badly burnt. The boy was brutally attacked on his way home from school last week in this Montreal suburb. CBC News isn't naming him as a minor who was a victim of violence. I was walking calmly with friends, he told Radio-Canada, pointing to a shortcut he took. A woman came out, he says, and threw boiling water from a pot on me. The boy said his friends crossed through the yard of a nearby apartment building. I heard a shout, his mom says, and ran outside to see him. Everybody started crying. The 10-year-old was rushed to hospital, his wounds evident, his skin blistering and peeling off.
We received a call on October 2nd, and we arrested a woman in her 40s. She could face charges of assault with causing bodily harm and armed assault.
The woman was released on a promise to appear in court later this month. The boy's father alleges the woman said his son had been knocking on her door for the past 3 years.
Let me hurry up. So sorry again. I meant to play this earlier. Not to play this, sister, but I meant to play this earlier when I was playing this. So I'm gonna skip that one. You know what, y'all? I would play the rest of this, but y'all get the point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to let this be the last one. Then I'm going to go ahead and play this, right? Because this is where we are now. You know what I'm saying? When we are fighting over the lesser of two evils, all I hear is, "Don't save us. We don't want to be saved. Don't save us." Anyway.
It says further on down on page 38, it says that another notable example of a Black person seeking meritorious manumission occurred on the eve of the Civil War. In 1859, abolitionist John Brown and his raiding party traveled to Harper's Ferry, Virginia, to capture weapons from a U.S. Marine Corps armory to use to free Black slaves. Y'all listen. When John Brown and his party entered the town, a Black man who had already won meritorious manumission was sitting on the porch of the railroad station and recognized Brown and his party. The Black man, Hayward Shepard is his name, y'all, ran to alert the town that Brown was in town to free the slaves. Brown's raiders shot Shepard down in the street. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not the one that's gonna be shedding no tear. He was free to sit on the porch that evening because he was no longer a slave. Y'all ready for this? This is what I want you to pay attention to. In gratitude for Hayward Shepard's outstanding behavior of placing white society's political economic interests above the freedom and needs of members of his own race, the town erected a monument honoring him. The Hayward Shepard statue was stored beside the city's major museum and covered with a wooden box. This is what white folks will reward you for. Will erect a monument for you. But not just any kind of white folks. Watch this. Guess who one of the co-sponsors were? Listen, and I'm quoting. This is what's inscribed on this monument. On the night of October 16th, I'm quoting, Hayward Shepherd, an industrious, respected colored freeman, was mortally wounded by John Brown raiders in pursuance of his duty as an employee of the Baltimore and Ohio.
Oh, when they say John Brown's raider, they mean black men who's actually doing the work while y'all precious John Brown was just sitting there instructing Negroes to go kill other Negroes so he could be the leader.
Railroad Company. He became the first victim of this attempted insurrection.
Was
This
black?
boulder is a
Why is always the black person that's always the first victim of some insurrection? Always the Negro standing in the way and fighting for the lesser of two evils, huh?
of this attempted insurrection. This boulder is erected by the United Daughters of the Confederacy and the Sons of the Confederate Veterans as a memorial to Hayward Shepherd, exemplifying the character and faithfulness of thousands of Negroes who, under many
Millions of
temptations
Negroes
throughout the
today.
subsequent years of war, so conducted themselves that no stain was left upon a record, which is a peculiar heritage of the American people and an everlasting tribute to the best in both races. What? I want to bring this to your attention.
Right. So, and I was going to show y'all, because I showed this before, right? Where this white bitch got caught lying, and now she's actually suing them, again, messing with them white bitches. And then this brother then shot and killed the white girl, but he's in trouble. But this one, I guess, is the last one that I guess makes sense, Let me see. Thousands of Negroes who, under many temptations throughout subsequent years of war, so conducted themselves. No stain was okay. So you're talking about you Negroes who's fighting for the lesser of two evils, who don't want to be saved. In fact, you're going to save democracy. Master, our house is burning. We can't let it burn down. But anyway, I guess that's good enough to leave it right there. I'm only coming on here for a little while. I guess I'll be back later, sooner or later. And we're going to be back Wednesday. I know y'all going to be here Wednesday because we'll talk about that. But I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. We definitely lost out here. We hurt, we hit. But maybe one day we'll be saved. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to let this sister have the last words here.
I think what you're trying to ask is why am I so insistent upon giving out to them that blackness, that black power, that black pushing them to identify with black culture. I think that's what you're asking. I have no choice over it. In the first place, to me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world, black people. I mean that in every sense, outside and inside. And to me, we have a culture that is surpassed by no other civilization, but we don't know anything about it. So again, I think I've said this before in the same interview. I think at some time before, my job is to somehow make them curious enough or persuade them by hook or crook to get more aware of themselves and where they came from and what they are into and what is already there, and just to bring it out. This is what compels me to compel them. And I will do it by whatever means necessary. I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear. If I could have that half of my life, no fear. Lots of children have no fear. That's the closest way, that's the only way I can describe it. That's not all of it, but it is something to really, really feel.
Yeah, man. So shouts out to my brother Anthony who was in the building. I appreciate you, my brother. Shouts out to everybody who will listen. Shouts out to Casidra who will be here Wednesday. We're gonna be back at 8:30. I think we have our topic. We're gonna see if anything else comes up, but I'm pretty sure we got our topic. But we'll talk about that on Wednesday at 8:30. I'll see y'all then. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.